Did you know that emotional unavailability is one of the leading causes of breakups? Studies show that over 65% of relationships struggle due to a lack of emotional connection. Shocking, right? Many people don't even realize their partner is emotionally distant until it's too late. If you've ever felt alone in a relationship, even when you're together, you're not alone. 1 in 3 people have experienced emotional unavailability in their relationships at some point. It's more common than we think, and it can be a silent killer to intimacy. The truth is, emotional availability is just as important as physical presence. So, how do you know if your partner is emotionally unavailable? What signs should you look out for? In this video, we'll uncover 6 key signs that your partner might be emotionally closed off. We'll also give you practical strategies to help heal the emotional distance and bring back the connection you've been longing for. Stay tuned as we dive deep into the subtle cues that could be hiding in plain sight and discover how you can turn things around before it's too late. Keep watching, this might just change everything you thought you knew about love and relationships. Chapter 1: The Silent Distance. When words are missing sometimes, emotional unavailability isn't loud or obvious, it's silent. In relationships, emotional availability is all about communication. If your partner isn't sharing their feelings, it can create a growing divide. Research shows that couples who communicate openly are 3 times more likely to report higher levels of happiness in their relationship. On the other hand, if conversations are limited to surface-level topics or constantly avoiding deep discussions, it may be a sign that your partner is emotionally unavailable. The silence between you is not a neutral space, it's the distance that begins to build up. One key indicator is how your partner responds when you try to talk about your feelings. Are they quick to change the subject or dismiss your concerns? Dr. John Gottman, a well-known relationship expert, states that stonewalling, shutting down emotionally, is one of the key predictors of relationship breakdowns. You might feel like you're trying to reach out, but it's like talking to a wall. The longer this happens, the more distant you feel, and the harder it becomes to reconnect. Strategy to fix it: to address this, you need to create a safe space for open conversations. Instead of confronting them with complaints, try saying, "I feel disconnected, and I want us to talk more openly." This opens the door for emotional intimacy without placing blame. Additionally, don't wait for big moments to communicate, try to build small, meaningful talks into your routine. A study by the University of California shows that couples who practice regular, lighthearted communication tend to feel more emotionally connected over time. Remember, emotional connection isn't about the frequency of words, it's about the depth. Be patient and give them the space to open up, but don't let silence become the default. You deserve more than just an absence of conflict, you deserve an emotionally present partner. Chapter 2: The Emotional Roller Coaster. 1 minute, hot, the next, cold. Does your partner flip-flop between being affectionate one moment and distant the next? If they seem to run hot and cold emotionally, it's a classic sign of emotional unavailability. This behavior can leave you feeling like you're on an emotional roller coaster. 1 minute, everything seems perfect, and the next, they become distant, leaving you confused and unsettled. Emotional inconsistency can seriously hurt your sense of security in the relationship. This kind of behavior often happens because emotionally unavailable people are terrified of being vulnerable. According to a study from the University of Denver, inconsistency in emotional behavior can signal underlying attachment issues, often stemming from childhood experiences or past trauma. If your partner has experienced abandonment or betrayal in the past, they might push you away when they feel close, fearing that vulnerability leads to pain. In a study by Dr. Sue Johnson, author of Hold Me Tight, it was found that partners who are emotionally inconsistent often have unresolved fears about being loved and accepted. The moment they start feeling too close, their instinct is to pull away to protect themselves from emotional harm. Strategy to fix it: to navigate this emotional roller coaster, the key is consistency and reassurance. When your partner pulls away, resist the urge to chase them. Instead, give them space and calmly communicate your feelings. Acknowledge their fears and let them know you're there for them. According to Dr. John Gottman's research, emotionally unavailable partners often need time to process their emotions, so giving them that space can help them feel safe enough to open up. Also, creating a predictable routine in the relationship can offer emotional stability. The more secure your bond, the less likely they'll feel the need to push you away. Try to set aside time for activities you both enjoy. This consistency can help ease the emotional ups and downs. Chapter 3: The Fear of Intimacy. Closer but further away. Emotional unavailability often comes down to a deep-seated fear of intimacy. The closer you get, the more your partner may pull away. It might seem like they want love and affection, but they resist true emotional closeness. They may have deep-rooted fears that opening up will make them vulnerable or expose their weaknesses. According to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, fear of intimacy is often the most significant barrier to emotional connection. People with anxious or avoidant attachment styles often struggle with emotional availability in relationships. This fear doesn't always look like outright rejection. Instead, it may be more subtle. They might avoid discussions about the future or refuse to share personal details. This lack of openness can make you feel like you're always standing on the outside, looking in. As Dr. Harville Hendrix writes in Getting the Love You Want, people who are emotionally unavailable are often afraid that true intimacy will lead to rejection or betrayal, even if there's no real threat. You may notice that even though your partner seems to enjoy physical closeness, emotional closeness is a different story. They might cuddle, kiss, or share casual moments, but the deeper emotional connection remains elusive. This is a sign that they may want love, but they are unwilling to fully open up. Strategy to fix it: if you're dealing with someone who fears intimacy, the first step is to understand their fears. Open up a gentle conversation by asking, "What does emotional closeness feel like to you?" This helps you to understand their emotional barriers without pressuring them. Building trust and safety is key to overcoming this fear. Keep small promises, be patient, and consistently show that you can be trusted with their emotions. Another important strategy is to avoid pushing too hard for intimacy too quickly. Gradually deepen the emotional connection, allowing them to feel comfortable sharing their feelings. As Dr. Brené Brown mentions in The Gifts of Imperfection, vulnerability is built through incremental moments of trust. Start small, and over time, they will begin to feel more comfortable opening up to you. Don't forget to subscribe for more relationship tips. We'll dive deeper into emotional connections and how to fix things that feel broken in your relationship. Chapter 4: The Avoidance Mechanism. Escaping when you need them most. One of the most painful signs of an emotionally unavailable partner is their tendency to avoid difficult situations. When things get tough, they might disappear, physically, emotionally, or both. They avoid tough conversations and hard feelings, leaving you to navigate problems alone. In fact, research from the University of California found that emotional avoidance is one of the key predictors of conflict in relationships. This avoidance makes it harder to resolve issues and leads to frustration on both sides. When your partner avoids confronting emotional issues, it often signals a fear of vulnerability or confrontation. The more your partner avoids dealing with the emotions in your relationship, the harder it is to feel supported. You might find yourself shouldering the emotional burden, which can lead to feelings of isolation. As Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, points out, emotional avoidance creates a disconnect in the relationship that can only be healed through intentional effort. It's not just about avoiding arguments, it's about ignoring your emotional needs when you need them most. Strategy to fix it: to address avoidance, try to approach difficult conversations with empathy. Let your partner know that you're not attacking them, you're simply trying to understand their feelings. Instead of confronting them when they are avoiding an issue, wait for a calmer time. Start by saying, "I've noticed that we haven't talked much about our feelings lately. Can we share what's on our minds?" This opens up a conversation where they can express any lingering emotional pain. If the avoidance is consistent, it's also helpful to establish boundaries around what you need. A healthy relationship requires both partners to engage emotionally, even when it's uncomfortable. Try to create moments for emotional connection outside of conflict. Engaging in light, fun activities can build emotional trust and make future discussions easier. Chapter 5: The Mirror of Their Past. Unhealed wounds shaping their present. Have you ever noticed that your partner's behavior sometimes doesn't seem to match the situation? It may seem like they're overreacting to small issues or pulling away when you need them. In reality, Their past may be influencing their present. Unhealed wounds from previous relationships or childhood trauma can often make a person emotionally unavailable. In fact, studies from the National Institute of Mental Health show that unresolved trauma can cause lasting effects on emotional regulation, leading to difficulty in forming healthy, emotional connections. When your partner's past is affecting your present relationship, it's not always easy to see. Sometimes, their actions are not about you, they're about their past pain. As Dr. Laura Berman writes in the Book of Love, emotional scars from the past can cause someone to fear closeness and intimacy. Even though your partner may want love, their unhealed emotional wounds can prevent them from fully being able to give or receive it. One common sign is that they may react intensely to small, seemingly insignificant issues. It's as if their emotional world is controlled by past experiences. These reactions can often leave you feeling confused and hurt, wondering why they're not handling situations in a healthy, balanced way. Strategy to fix it: healing old wounds takes time, and it's important to be patient. Start by gently addressing their past. You can ask questions like, "I've noticed that you seem to have a hard time with certain things. Can we talk about what's been bothering you?" This opens up a conversation where they can express any lingering emotional pain. It's also important for you to set clear boundaries and communicate what you need in the relationship. Healing isn't about fixing them, it's about supporting them through their journey while also taking care of your emotional health. As Dr. Daniel Siegel, author of The Developing Mind, suggests, building a secure relationship is about creating a safe, empathetic space where both partners can grow. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you're finding this video helpful. Stay tuned for more relationship insights to help you build a healthier, happier connection. Chapter 6: The Fear of Vulnerability. Locked behind closed doors. When your partner is emotionally unavailable, they may have a deep fear of being vulnerable. This fear is rooted in the belief that opening up emotionally will lead to rejection, hurt, or emotional pain. According to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, vulnerability is often the most significant barrier to emotional connection. People who fear vulnerability may struggle with emotional closeness and avoid sharing their innermost thoughts and feelings. This can make your relationship feel one-sided, leaving you with an emotional wall instead of the intimacy you crave. In some cases, a partner may shut down completely when you try to open up emotionally. This fear of vulnerability often stems from past experiences where they may have been hurt by opening up, such as past relationships or family dynamics. According to Dr. Brené Brown, author of Daring Greatly, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. For those with emotional walls, however, this courage is often absent. The result is that you might feel disconnected and emotionally alone. You want to share your life and your feelings with them, but it feels like they can't, or won't, return the favor. This lack of emotional exchange can create a silent, painful distance between you. Strategy to fix it: to help your partner work through their fear of vulnerability, the first step is to create a safe environment. Let them know it's okay to be imperfect and that you will support them no matter what. Avoid forcing them to open up, as this can lead to even more emotional distance. Instead, model vulnerability yourself by sharing your feelings and being honest about your fears. Additionally, it's essential to celebrate small emotional steps. Every time your partner opens up, even just a little, acknowledge it. This encourages them to keep going and shows them that vulnerability doesn't have to lead to pain. Over time, these small moments of emotional sharing can build into a more secure, vulnerable relationship. As Dr. John Gottman emphasizes, emotional intimacy is built through trust and gradual emotional sharing. By recognizing the signs of emotional unavailability and applying these strategies, you can work toward creating a stronger, more emotionally connected relationship. Understanding your partner's emotional barriers, addressing them with empathy, and gradually building trust can help break down the walls between you. It's not always easy, but with patience and persistence, emotional availability can grow.